Hello, this is Mr. Soto. This is a video for the world population activity number one. In this video, you will become familiar with Excel. You'll also create and save a worksheet, and you'll learn to perform simple calculations and fill and edit the spreadsheet. So we're going to start off by opening Excel first. So this is my home screen. Yours might be slightly different, but here in the toolbar, wherever you see this X, and hopefully you have this program, you can click on Excel. And you click on it once and you should bring this up. Here what I would do next is I would go to where it says Excel Workbook and then double click on this. Okay, now it's a little bit small, so on my screen I'm going to go ahead and go to 150 so it's a little bit easier to see. And we're going to go ahead and start typing up some preliminaries. So for example, I want to know your name, we need the date, and of course we need the assignment so that when I look at this I know exactly what you're turning in. It'd be nice to have these in bold, so if you can highlight name, date, and assignment by clicking and dragging, and then go here where it says bold, you should be able to get that. Then where it says name, go ahead and type your first and last name. The date, today is the 12th, and your date might be a little bit different. And in the assignment though, I do want you to put world population. Okay, now notice how this world population doesn't stay inside the column B. So one of the things I'd like you to be able to do is to learn how to adjust the columns. So look at the cursor. Right now it's a cross. If you move up right here to the edge, it turns black. Now once you click on this and drag, you're able to adjust the column at any size that you want. Now if you double click on it though, then you let Excel do it for you. Oops. And there it goes. And you can do this, you can only do this in the top bar. I can do it for A also, and it'll adjust that column. The other thing I'd like you to learn how to do is highlight these three cells, B2, B3, and B4, the second column, second, third, fourth row, and to adjust it, to left justify it, center it, or right justify it. So notice I'm going to go to this, my cursor, I'm going to put it up here, and it says align text left. If I click on this one, all the text is aligned left. This will align the text to the center, and this will align it to the right. I prefer the right, but you can do this however you want. Okay, and finally, let's go ahead and save. A couple ways to save. You can go to File and then Save, or you can use the command here, S, or you could also just click on the Save button. When you name it, if you can please name it World Pop 1, and then in parentheses put the first initial of your first name and then your last name, and then just click on Save. Alright, so we've saved the worksheet. Now let's go ahead and start doing some calculations. Now what we like to do is actually use this formula to this is a model of world populations, and there's some limiting factors, and we haven't gone over this yet, but this is a model that I'd like to be able to use today. And so you don't have to write this on your Excel worksheet. I just wanted to show you what the goal was, and so we're going to use this. And the idea is that we're going to look at a world population. The R here stands for the growth rate, and the K stands for the carrying capacity. So we're going to go ahead and start with, and the A naught, the A with the 0, stands for the initial population. So what we're going to start with is right here in column B6. If you can type in initial population. Oops, sorry. And this is in 1950. The column's too small again, so I'll go up here and double click to make it bigger. Initial population in 1950. Then we're here on column C, we'll type A with a little O, space equals. Second column, let's do carrying capacity. This is the K equals in column C. And then in B8, if you can type in rate. And over here on column C8, if you can type R, little r equals. Okay, so you should have this. It might be helpful to you if you can maybe highlight this and maybe make it bold. Oh, but we made a slight mistake here. You should know from science that anytime you do have variables, you should probably put the units. So let me show you how to edit this. The population should be in billions, so let me click right here on cell C6. Go right here up to the bar. This is called the formula bar, and right between the equal sign and the 0, I'm going to type parentheses billions, parentheses, maybe a space, and then I'm going to press enter. Now again, my column's too small, so I'm going to go ahead and make this bigger. For K, this is the carrying capacity also measured in billions. So again, I will go to the formula bar here, click once to get that cursor to start flashing. Again, I'm going to type parentheses billions, parentheses, space, press enter. And finally, here where it says R, this is in a percent per year. So I'm going to type in parentheses. The percent symbol is above the 5, and then type per year. And so now it looks like this. Again, my column is too small, so I'll go this way. So this is these are the variables that we're going to need for the formula. And for this specific problem right now, we're going to say, according to some data, that in 1950 the population of the world was 2.52 billion people. The carrying capacity, we're going to say it's 100 billion. That might not be true. I don't have data to support that, but this is just an example. And the growth rate could be 10%. I'm pretty sure that's not true also. I'm pretty sure the growth rate's slightly smaller than that, but let's use these numbers for right now. And so what we like to do is somehow program Excel to compute this so that we don't have to. And so right down here where it says B10, why don't you go ahead and type in year, here in A, type in year. Here in B, type time from 1950. And here in C10, if you can type in population, and again, we have to give this in a unit, so billions. And let's make all of these bold. So let me highlight all of them, make them bold. And then I should adjust column C. So let me make that a little bit bigger. And D looks a little bit too big, so let me make that a little smaller. So Excel will also make them smaller, so here we go. And I'm going to move my formula over here so we can still see it. Okay, so let's say I wanted to predict the population in the year 2000. Now in this formula, T stands for the time from the initial population. The initial population is 1950. So in 2000, that's 50 years from 1950. So the T should be 50. The way we program this into Excel is we type equals. I want to take the year right now, whatever year it is, so 2000. Now I'm going to subtract 1950 from this. Let's double check to make sure this is true. You guys know that 1960 is 10 years away from 1950. So if I type in 1960 here, the second column, B11, should say 10. Boom, there it is. It says 10. You guys know that 1975, the year I was born, is 25 years from 1950. So if I type in 1975 here and press enter, I should get 25 in column B11. And sure enough, it works. So that means that this formula that I typed in here on B11, A11 minus 1950 actually works. So let's go back to 2000. Now I'd like to type in this formula, and this is really long, and this is going to take some time. Here's where we teach you about having parentheses in the right spot. Specifically, we're going to need parentheses along the denominator. The denominator is really large, so we're going to need parentheses. Hopefully I don't make a mistake. I practiced this a couple of times, so hopefully this will work. So first of all, equals. It says A naught. A naught is the 2.52, so I'm going to click that. Then it says it's next to the ERT, that means times. Times is the star. If you look at the 8, if you press Shift 8, you get this star. So I'm taking the number here, 2.52, multiplying it times E. E in Excel is EXP, and then you put parentheses. Inside the parentheses, you're going to put the exponent. And the exponent is R. This R right here, 10. But it has to be a decimal. It can't be a 10%. So 10% divided by 100 will give me the decimal. And then I want to multiply times the time. And the time is the 50. So there it is. Boom. B11. Okay. That takes care of the numerator. Now the denominator. This bar means to divide. So I'm going to press the division symbol. It's where the question mark is at. And then I'm going to go ahead and put parentheses for the bottom. So 2 parentheses, because I'm going to need that. I'm going to go inside those parentheses and I'm going to type in 1 plus, and now I need another fraction here. Okay. So the way we're going to do this is this is a little bit easier because they already has parentheses, so we don't have to worry so much. So I need an A naught. So that's the 2.52, so I'm going to click on that. I need a time symbol, so that's a shift and an A. Then I need parentheses here to put this part. So 2 parentheses, boom, boom, there it is. In those, I'm going to type in the EXP, the e to the RT minus 1. So first I have to type in EXP. I have to put something in there, and then we're going to do minus 1. What do I put in here? Well, I put R, which is the rate, but I have to divide by 100 again. And then finally times the time, which is 50. And the last thing is I need is that right here after the 1, there's this parentheses. I need to divide by K. So I'm going to put a division symbol right here. And then the K is 100. It's right here on D7, and so I'll go ahead and type that. And so you can pause the video now, this is what it should look. This is what your formula should look like right here in this toolbar or down here. Make sure you can type that in correctly. I'm going to press enter and hope it works. After I press enter, if it works, then you should go ahead and try this on your own. You can rewind if you need to. All right, 79.32. Now, let's check to make sure this is right. So if this is right, when I put 1950 here, I should get the original amount of people. So if I type in 1950, yes, we get 2.52. This means that I typed in the formula correctly, and now I can predict the population in 2000. Now, does this really make sense? 79 billion. Probably not. I wonder which of these is incorrect. If anything, it's either the carrying capacity or the rate. Let's pretend the rate is 2%. That might be a little bit better, right? This might be a little bit more believable. So anyways, we're going to play with this. There are a series of questions that I'm going to ask you to fill out. It's on the worksheet. This concludes this video. You will use this program that you wrote to answer some questions. And in the questions in the worksheet, what you're going to do is you're going to change either the initial population or the carrying capacity or the rate or maybe the year over here. And you'll be able to use this to make predictions. When you're done, 2 things you'd have to do. Make sure to save this. Let's save it right now. When you're done with the worksheet and after you're done playing with this, come back to the next video. The next video will show you what to do next. Have fun.